wear your costumes. It's geared towards the people with disabilities, their families, their friends and caregivers, just to have a great Halloween party together. And this came about in partnership with Faith United, and they reached out, and I'll let Pastor Parrish talk a little bit further about their initiatives, but just an inclusive event to celebrate the community of people with disabilities in Muscatine. And so we were happy to throw an event. It's open to everybody, not just Crossroads clients. So everybody's invited. I've been spreading out invitations and hoping that people will join us.
Awesome. So Parrish, how did this all kind of come about?
Yeah, so we have what's called an ONA team. We are an open and affirming congregation, which is a whole UCC connotation, but basically means that we're all inclusive, that, you know, God's love is unconditional, and so we do our best to extend that to absolutely everybody. And part of the initiative is to also include people who are differently abled or have mental illnesses or like literally anything. And so we thought that because we already had a partnership with Crossroads, and I'm new, so I'm just learning about all these things, that it would be fun to have a dance for the Crossroads clients. Some of them go to our congregation, and just we want to bring joy to the community and to people and their families. So.
Well, and I know, you know, you kind of said a magic 2-word combo there when it comes to Halloween, because Tony does Halloween better than just about anybody I can think of off the top of my head.
Yep.
So I assume obviously costumes, right?
Yep.
Has he announced what he's going to be yet?
I think there was a teaser yesterday. But I don't know if that was just this would be too easy or this is really what it is.
We're gonna.
I know that's why I'm like I don't know if it's a teaser or if it's this is what's happening.
Well,
but yesterday there was definitely a Halloween costume teaser.
Well, we're gonna try something. I'm guessing he's probably in a meeting or something important. But we'll just happen to see if he's available. This is the fun of live local. So this is obviously Parrish's first time on the show, so you know we might as well make it as difficult as humanly possible. And of course he's not going to answer. So there goes.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, I guarantee you, he's like watching right now, going, "There's no way I'm picking up my phone." Yeah, and I know he does have meetings on Monday morning, so it's not a surprise. But so out at the Rendezvous,
yes,
which is a tremendous location for something like this.
Yeah.
Obviously you're gonna have plenty of room, plenty of space. Do people need to bring anything? Do they need to
they need to come and be ready to have fun and dance for 2 hours, 4 to 6 p.m.
Do you have to dance the entire 2 hours?
You do not have to.
And do you have to dance?
Light refreshments.
Okay.
So you can balance it. No, we'll have tables and hang out. It's really just what everybody who attends wants to make it. Okay. We're not doing anything like an official Halloween costume contest or anything like that. It's really just music and time for us to spend together, enjoying, kind of kicking off the holiday. I think we're one of the earlier events.
I believe so,
Everything
yes.
happens that next week, so it's really a kickoff to the holidays, and
yeah, and one thing, side note, we're going to be working on putting together a quick little page on the website for all of the Halloween events, because there's like 17 trunk or treat events, and of course, you know, regular Halloween and all that fun stuff. So look for that over the next couple of days. We'll make sure that we get that out and make sure you guys are like number one on the list.
And I really want to give a shout out to Tony and to Cindy Carver with the Rendezvous. They are both so committed to Crossroads, to our population, to people with disabilities being included in the community. So the second that I even mentioned to them, they both said, yep, we're on board and we'll do whatever it takes. So shout out to both of them. It's always a good time when Tony's in the house, and Cindy always puts up some great snacks and treats, and I think she's gonna have a little fun with it and the theme, so it should just be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's, Parrish, if you wouldn't mind, let's take since you're new, Let's do like a Muscatine quiz. Okay? And she's like, oh
So,
crap.
but you're
I
a
graduated
No, I know. Yeah, I know.
from
She's a
Muscatine.
native Muscatine, and
I'm
I'm
not.
I was
I
trying-
haven't been here in 10 years. So.
was
So
trying-
we're gonna fill the gaps because I've been here for
I was,
about 10
I
years.
was, I was trying to tee up a home run for you here. Like, we didn't have to tell them that.
Sorry, I'm not a Muscatine native.
We know.
Okay.
Yes, we know. We're all aware. We're gonna have you guys all like put tattoos on your foreheads,
Right.
or like a star belly
Not
sneak.
in- right.
We need like stars on our bellies.
There we go.
Well, that ruins. I was gonna say, what are
Sorry.
we known for? The world's largest what?
Watermelon.
There we go. See, it was gonna be an easy
Yeah,
one
you really
anyway.
only have to be here for
Like,
a month to know that one.
Exactly. See, jeez,
Sorry.
that's okay.
Don't you miss Megan on Monday?
I do. I do because it's the nice thing about Megan Mondays are, I usually have a pretty good idea of what you guys are working on, whether it was festival or whatever, because of the relationship that we all have, and so they're easy mornings for me because I know I don't have to really prep a lot because I know what we're going to be talking about and all of that fun stuff. Yeah. So where I was actually going to go with it though is, if you could, Faith United has taken a very drastic isn't the right word, that has a negative connotation. But let's say positive drastic, what would that word be? Why am I having a hard time?
Bold.
Bold, sure, that works. Path as a congregation with the open and affirming. And you kind of alluded to it a little bit in your first statement, but could you maybe expand on what that is a little bit for people so that they can understand, because you guys talk about that a lot as a group. And I think it's a really important thing for people to understand the philosophy behind it, because it might not always line up with what is, I would say, perceived common knowledge or perceived perception of how a church would approach things.
Absolutely. So for the open and affirming, the big part is, and if you've seen our sign, which has been, controversial, a big part of our inclusion is the LGBTQ plus community. And that really comes from our theological basis that every human being and extended to all of creation has inherent worth because it was created by God and God called it good. So we really believe that, the UCC slogan is no matter who you are or where you are in life's journey, you're welcome. And we really, really believe that because there's been so much, I think, negative connotation around Christianity in general, and sort of the loudest voices being that of condemnation and judgment and sort of the hell and brimstone.
I grew up Baptist, so
yes.
fire and brimstone's our cup of tea.
And so we really try to take our theology from the standpoint of love and joy, that God really wants us to have life and have it abundantly. And so that's what we're trying to live into. And we're trying to ensure that all of creation, that all people have unconditional love and joy throughout their life. And so our mission is really to figure out how we can help people have abundant life.
Well, and the thing that even if you take the religious aspects out of it, it's a great concept just in general, right? Of just because you don't agree with a person's actions or an opinion on one thing or whatever it is, it doesn't mean that you can't have a positive relationship overall. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that the other person's a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're a bad, it just means that because believe it or not, Megan and I don't always agree on things. You know what I mean? But I still like Megan, and I think she likes me most of the time. And she's not going to say anything, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But, you're right. I mean, it is a tremendous way of saying, look, we're going to consciously try and pull down those interpersonal barriers between people and make a conscious effort to do that. And I think that's, again, even pulling the religious aspect out, pull that out, it's just a great community message, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, and so I love how you guys have not only just said that that's what you are, you guys have taken action on it. I mean, Allison Castle.
Yes.
So I grew up with her. It's Allison Becky. Sorry, Ryan Allison. Yes, I know your last name. But she was here with the concert. Was that around last Christmas, maybe? And like, it's a continual thing that you guys have taken action on. How you are going to make your congregation, your tribe, your group, whatever you want to call it, open to everybody, which is, I think, a tremendous community asset. So.
Yeah. And really, we all talk about DEI. We all have our different words for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
There you go. Not everybody knows what DEI is, Megan.
But we all have our different spin on it, right? But when it comes down to it, it is inclusion of everybody. We're not just looking at race or gender or people with abilities, and we're looking at the whole picture, and we want everybody to feel welcome and included in our community. And so, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the message, and to celebrate each of those different areas as well. We're excited to partner in that.
Yeah, and that's, it's fun to see you do a tremendous job, kind of carrying that over into the community side with Crossroads and Senior Resources, both of having these engaging, cool events and like little programs and like all these things that pull everybody together, right? Because, I told this story, I had a gentleman that I worked with way back at the Y as a swim instructor. He was a young kid. He had some challenges. I ran into him, I was the only one he would get in the pool with, and he learned how to swim, and it was a 3-year process probably. I ran into him at the high school, and he recognized me. The first thing he wanted to do was tell me how he passed swimming when he was in high school, because we were at the high school, and he pointed over to, like, I passed because you taught me how to swim. And then he had a bunch of questions about Muskie football. But, it's, no matter where you are or how you integrate in with some of these communities that are different than you, it almost always comes out as a positive experience. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that's always 100% positive. Like, I'm not saying that. But, that was probably a couple of Fridays ago. I still smile thinking about it. And that was something that just happened. The groundwork for that was laid when I was 16. So, like 5 or 6 years ago. And you'll continue to get that. You know what I mean? So I would highly encourage everybody. And if you have any questions, Tony is also a huge advocate and can tell you a lot of stories of a similar vein. And just find a way to get involved.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Get up off your butt and go do it.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else coming up?
Are we going with the holidays?
We can absolutely, because okay, I'll start. Don't forget, Jingle and Mingle is coming up December 1st, right?
Perfect, yeah.
Standard, a whole lot of fun down on 2nd Street. We'll see if we can cram 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people down here and have some Christmas fun.
Yeah.
But we're not the only ones. Do you want to tease it?
We'll tease a little.
We'll tease it. Yeah,
Yes.
I think we'll tease it.
So Crossroads is taking over Weed Park.
Not violently though,
not
right?
No.
Not
in
like,
full support
of
city permit and everything.
Right.
We're legit.
Because I could see you doing it the other way too. Well, if something needs done, I can totally see you just getting it done.
So we are, Crossroads will hold a nightly light display drive-through from Thanksgiving to New Year's Eve, about 5:30 to 8:30. Professional light displays coming to Weed Park this year as an event called Illuminate. Yeah. So look for more. We're looking for sponsors right now and firming those up, and then light displays go in October at the end of this month.
Probably because it's
Yep, and then we'll have everything available as we get closer to those pieces. But all of the proceeds will go to Crossroads and Senior Resources. So again, inclusion and awareness through our community.
Yeah. And what I love is this community does the holidays really well, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it starts right at Thanksgiving, basically. You know, at least with all the stuff that we participate in directly as like Pro City Media Discover Muscatine, you know, you've got the 2 weeks of love that is the first 2 weeks after Thanksgiving with the food drive and the toy drive that everybody partners with the Salvation Army on.
Yeah.
So of course we'll be out in the Hy-Vee parking lot freezing for food. And then of course, you know, you've got Jingle and Mingle, the holiday stroll, that first Friday. You guys are like this great bridge through the whole holiday season with what you're doing. There's the Muscatine Civic Chorale concert. The Symphony does a tremendous Christmas concert that's free. Then throw in all the high school, all the school concerts and all that other stuff. If you don't think that Muscatine is a Hallmark community from, you know, call it November 28th through December 26th, you're not coming out of your house.
Yeah.
Because the city does a good job prepping downtown. There's the community Christmas tree at Midwest One, you know, that was donated to the community quite a few years ago by Mr. Lang, which I learned, I did not know this. In all the years we've had that tree, and that, you know, even doing, I did not know it played music. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I knew there was always music around, but I didn't realize it was actually the tree playing
tree
it,
is
so that
playing
like
it.
throughout the day it can play it, and like I never knew that until last year. I don't remember what we were doing. They're like, well, we're gonna fire up the, I'm like, wait, but we had somebody playing music like right in the street. It plays music? I thought you, I'm like, oh crap. So we had to move one of the other churches, and it was a thing, but
Yeah.
it was fun. So holy cow. Well, great job. And again, I assume people can, if they want to participate, be a sponsor, email you.
Yep.
It's probably the easiest thing to do.
Yep, reach out to me for sponsors, and then watch the Crossroads Facebook page for more information. There may have been a teaser that went out accidentally on my Facebook page, so so if you've seen stuff and now you can't find it, it's coming again.
I'm glad
Facebook is our friend, but not always.
I'm glad to know I'm not the only one that does that. Do you guys ever do that? Like at the church? Like,
no.
oh my goodness. Well, and then like,
Now you know
I'm
who's
sure you guys do
behind
this, and
Crossroads.
you know, here's a little side note for those of you that like don't have to run like business social media. Usually you have like this software like Loomly or Hootsuite or something that like lets you schedule out ahead and, you know, put things on multiple places, which is great until you happen to make, you know, like most people, if you make the mistake of accidentally, you post it to like Facebook once and you can go get it. If you do that in one of those pieces of software and you accidentally push it out, then you're like going out to like 17 different places trying to pull it all back, and you feel like such a schmuck. But you know, it's fun. It gives people something to talk about.
Yeah.
Right? So quick recap.
Yeah.
We've got October 19th.
Yep.
4 to 6.
Yep.
Out at the Rendezvous. Mr. Tone will be hosting with you guys the spooky soiree.
Yeah.
Correct? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
I got that right. Just come have fun. Is there a cost to it?
No,
No? Okay, I didn't think so. I assume you'd take a free will donation,
I
though.
would take a donation.
Yep.
I would, but
Yep. And then be ready for a cruise through Weed Park this holiday season.
yes.
And then, do you guys have anything else coming up big that you want to mention while you're here?
I mean, for the holiday season, we have movie night the following week of the soiree on Friday. So that'll be at 7 o'clock. We're gonna try to be outside, have an outdoor movie, and you know, roast some s'mores and see what happens. And then on the 29th, we are participating in the trunk or treat that's hosted at Grace Lutheran Church.
Gotcha.
There's a bunch of churches that are gathering there. So those are the things coming up this month.
Awesome. Well, make sure we get info on everything you guys are doing. We'll make sure it gets on the calendar and all that fun stuff. But
Awesome.
thank you guys for coming in. It's fun. It's nice to have a Megan Monday back. And let's see. So probably in a couple of weeks, do
2
it
weeks.
again. 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yep.
2 weeks, I'll be back, friends.
There we go. Put it on your calendars now. So, well, again, thank you guys very much. Muscatine, that'll do it for today. And don't forget to go attack the rest of the day with an enthusiasm unknown.